Hello and welcome to MedEvidence Articles, where we encourage community research and education with weekly articles. I'm your host, Benton Loeyball, and this week we're talking about seasonal affective disorder. Shedding light on seasonal depression. Winter has its benefits, tasty treats, holidays, cheaper gas, and gnarlier waves for surfing. Unfortunately, it also has its drawbacks: diet difficulty, weather under 70 degrees, a need for wetsuits, and seasonal affective disorder. The American Psychiatric Association classifies seasonal affective disorder, cleverly abbreviated SAD, as a subtype of major depressive disorder that fluctuates throughout the year. The vast majority of sufferers, around 5% of the population, experience increased depressive symptoms in the winter, although about 1 in every 1,000 people have increased summer symptoms. It affects women more than men and usually presents in young adulthood. Researchers suggest that genetics may play a role, and the likelihood increases the further from the equator you live. Now, much like a lousy surf session, seasonal affective disorder has detrimental effects on mood, cognitive function, like memory, learning, attention, and problem solving, and physical health. Seasonal affective disorder shares symptoms with other forms of major depression, including a sad or depressed mood, loss of interest in things you previously liked, feeling worthless or guilty, decreased cognitive function, oversleeping, fatigue, fidgeting or physical slowing, appetite changes, especially a craving for carbs, physical aches and pains without other causes, and thinking about death and/or suicide. These are serious symptoms, and if left unmanaged, they can lead to impacts on daily life, increase social isolation, exacerbate other mental health disorders, and lead to problems with work, school, and relationships. Additionally, just like a post-surf injury period, seasonal affective disorder increases the risks of obesity, heart disease, and substance abuse. Now, much like forecasting, the exact science behind seasonal affective disorder is unclear. There are two major theories. The photoperiod hypothesis proposes that less sunlight in the winter increases melatonin production and gets your hormones all out of whack. Observations of higher SAD rates at greater distances from the equator, and therefore longer winter nights, support this theory. The phase shift hypothesis proposes that during winter, our circadian system, the internal clock, misaligns with our sleep cycle, throwing hormones and everything else off. Seasonal affective disorder has both sunlight and hormonal aspects, as sufferers show hormone changes more than average people. One highly implicated hormone is serotonin. Serotonin is affected by vitamin D levels, which has led many to use vitamin D as a treatment for seasonal affective disorder. However, basic researchers have found that cellular mechanisms of serotonin production and clearance may actually be affected by sunlight, implying that vitamin D alone may not be enough. Treating seasonal affective disorder is challenging, in part due to a scarcity of randomized, controlled clinical trials. In fact, as of the writing of this article, only 18 United States clinical trials have been reported to clinicaltrials.gov, and none are currently enrolling. Available treatments fall into 3 categories: light therapies, antidepressants, and talk therapy. Light therapy is exactly what it sounds like: bright lights shining on you for 20 or more minutes a day, usually in the morning. Going outside for extra time may also help, but don't forget your sunscreen. A doctor may prescribe an antidepressant, such as a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which can help regulate the amount of serotonin in the brain. Talk therapy, especially cognitive behavior therapy, may also provide relief. Vitamin D supplementation does not have sufficient data to show efficacy, and, in fact, the few randomized controlled clinical trials for seasonal affective disorder failed to show that supplemental vitamin D was superior to placebo in reducing symptoms. More clinical trials are needed to seek new, data-driven solutions to seasonal affective disorder. Now, if only there were also a clinical trial seeking solutions for poor quality surf. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of MedEvidence Articles. If you'd like to know more, all of our descriptions are linked in the podcast description below. You can also visit our website at medevidence.com. MedEvidence helps answer the question of who can you trust for medical information. The MedEvidence platform provides valuable information about many medical issues and the insights of evidence-based medicine. MedEvidence educates audiences through engaging and entertaining magazines, podcasts, videos, articles, and presentations. We strive to bring together diverse voices of top-level medical professionals, researchers, and experts to provide unique and engaging content that uncovers the truth behind the data. For more great content, including discussions by physicians and subject matter experts, check out the Med Evidence podcast. My name is Benton, and we'll see you next week.